Us right now is the MD and CEO of Tata Motors, Guenter Butschek, who's joining us all the way from the Geneva Motor Show. Guenter, thank you very much for speaking to CNBC TV 18. You've completed 3 years as CEO of Tata Motors. We'd like to ask you about the journey so far. Are you satisfied today?
First of all, good morning from Geneva and a very warm welcome to the Tata Motors Pavilion at the 89th Geneva International Motor Show. As you might know, it's the second day and we had a very exciting first day, kicking off yesterday morning with our press conference at 9:45 with something extremely unique in the automotive industry: 4 global world premieres and 1 European premiere. Delivering on our promise made a year ago, where we did introduce the 2 new architectures, Alpha and Omega, and where we said whatever you see on stage as a Sun concept car, it's all going to be visible in the coming 12 to 24 months on the Indian roads. Keeping this promise as part of my journey, as part of the Tata Motors turnaround journey, we actually delivered on our promises and showed the cars yesterday no longer as a concept, but as road-ready vehicles going to be introduced in India in a staggered approach within the coming 12 to 18 months. So it was extremely exciting, as it is still exciting, and you might see it in the background. Lots of people pay a visit to Tata Motors as the only Indian OEM being here in Geneva.
Right, so exciting times for Tata Motors. You've placed a big bet on the newly launched Harrier SUV. Do you think this car will play a big role in transforming brand Tata Motors in the coming months and will firmly establish Tata Motors' presence in the passenger vehicle segment?
Although we said yesterday we are going to open a new chapter, the new chapter of Tata Motors has not just been opened yesterday. This journey got started when we launched the transformation in 2016, where focus on products, improvement of services, but in particular going for a new customer experience when it comes to sales and lifecycle management, has finally culminated to the launch of the Harrier in India already on the 23rd of Jan. And it's now going to be taken to the next level, adding in fiscal year 19-20 a 7-seater SUV sharing the same architecture, namely the Omega architecture, which is accommodate all future products of Tata Motors above 4.5 meters, and where indeed the Harrier plays a crucial role, because as mentioned at the market introduction, with the Harrier we finally move from a value proposition, which was the general perception about Tata Motors, to premiumness, and taking this expectation of premiumness, we actually brought 2 new products to the show. The Ultras, as it is going to go into the market mid of 2019, and in about a year you will actually see the electric version of the Ultras. Again, promise delivered, because a year ago we said the new Alpha architecture is battery electric package protected. So you actually see a vehicle which is a twin of the internal combustion engine, but significantly differentiated on the exterior and even more so on the interior. And the design cues you saw on the show car a year ago, called E-Vision Sedan, free-floating cockpit, flat floor, without a dedicated electric architecture, a so-called skateboard, is now sitting live on stage and is ready to go into the market in a year's time. So therefore, it's not just the Harrier that plays a role to change Tata Motors. Customer perception, product proposition, and taking experience to the next level. It's the entire product lineup, as we are going to get it in the coming years, where we always said the two architectures can carry 12 to 14 new top hats. Most of them already decided. Most of them already in the design and engineering stage. And with these 12 to 14 products, we will effectively address 90% of the Indian market, which is a highly subsegmented market, but we will have a suitable play for all of these subsegments. And we are even about to create some new subsegments, as we usually call it in our industry, white space.
All right, so 12 to 14 products that are being looked at over the next few years. Just to talk about the Geneva Motor Show, you had a huge lineup there. You had the Altroz, you had the Altroz EV, the Buzzard, Buzzard Sport, H2X concept. How are these products going to be introduced? What is the timeline that is being looked at by you currently?
Okay, take one after the other. First of all, there's only one concept car on stage, which has been named H2X. That's the one right behind me. I think you have it in the frame. That's on the rotating table. And even this one is more than a concept car, because it's close to the production vehicle. All the measurements on the interior are in line with the series vehicle, but being roughly 1.5 years prior to market introduction, so effectively means autumn 2020, we needed to actually play a bit with the design, not to disclose the final recipe in a too early stage, because otherwise it's not going to be seen as a new vehicle anymore when it comes in 2020. To my right, we have the Altroz. As mentioned, it's going to get into the market mid of 2019. The electric twin Altroz EV is currently planned after successful transition into BS6 at around mid of 2020. So also effectively tomorrow. But on the way to the launch of the Altroz EV, you will see some more products and extended range products for electric powertrain solutions. And if you now look behind to my left, Harrier is already in the market, and what we have called the Buzzard 7-seater Geneva edition is currently a code name because we have not finally christened the product, so please stay tuned that you don't miss the final name of the Buzzard Geneva edition, as it will get into the market also in the fiscal year 1920 in context of our decision on the transition from BS4 to BS6. But it's gonna come soon.
All right.
Again, not a concept car. The car on stage is the product as it will finally get onto the Indian roads.
Okay, I'd just like to ask you about the FAME 2 scheme. We've been hearing about it for a long time. The government has announced an outlay of 10,000 crore rupees for a period of 2019 to 2022. Do you think the FAME 2 scheme, this announcement, gives a clearer roadmap to the industry, to the auto industry in the EV segment?
I need you again. I missed the first half of your question. You are talking about?
All right. Yeah, Guenter, we were asking about electric vehicles. The government of India has recently announced the FAME 2 scheme, a 10,000 crore subsidy between a period of 2019 to 2022. Do you think the FAME 2 scheme gives a clearer roadmap to the auto industry in the electric vehicle segment?
First of all, we highly appreciate the initiative of the government. You know that we have been sharing the vision of the government as far as the announcement on 2030, so-called all-electric, is concerned right from the beginning. Not only as far as Tata Motors is concerned, I think also as far as the Tata Group is concerned, with its very differentiated contribution to building an ecosystem as it is required in order to go electric in large numbers in the Indian market. Having said that, FAME 2, as we have always asking for finalizing the concept in order to give us as an industry some framework on which we can actually take the necessary decisions, can shift the priorities more intensively and accordingly. FAME 2 has given this direction. However, if you ask what is going to be the impact, what does it mean, 55,000 passenger vehicles over a period of 3 years, where a smaller portion is hybrid, and where I do appreciate, as you know from earlier interactions and statement made, that a strong focus has been given on electric and not on hybrid, because electric requires a real concerted effort across different parts of the industry, an inclusive approach between the government and the industry in order to build the ecosystem, which is a prerequisite, a precondition to support a faster adaptation from internal combustion engine with whatever kind of add-ons to electrification, which is the need of the hour. If you do take the pollution levels as we have seen them skyrocket high in the last couple of years in most of the cities in India. And then the 7,000 buses. But in the first instance, this is still very broad headlines. What does it effectively mean in detail? We need to wait for the details on the execution of the policy, which we expect in the days and weeks to come. And then we will actually review our plans accordingly. And believe me, we are going to go all out in order to leverage FAME 2, not for the benefit of the FAME 2, but for the benefit to actually start reducing the carbon footprint of the public transport system in India.
All right, you know, Guenter, the government has been saying the focus will be on two-wheeler electric vehicles, three-wheelers, public transport and shared mobility. When this is government's broad vision, where does Tata Motors find itself?
We certainly find ourselves in buses because, as you do know, all the public tenders that has become available the last 12 months, we have actually claimed 60% market share in the electric bus. And just to mention it, in one of the recent award-giving ceremonies, the truck or the CV of the year was the 9-meter electric bus of Tata Motors. For two reasons remarkable. It was the first electric commercial vehicle that has ever been awarded with this prestigious award, which is a message as such. And on the other side, this was Tata Motors for homegrown electric bus, as it is our 9-meter and 12-meter buses on offer. First part. On the fleet business, or shared mobility business, as you called it, we have traditionally a very strong play as a vehicle provider to these aggregators, to the fleet businesses, and we are going to leverage on our historical relationship and encourage our customers, the fleet customers, but also the corporates as far as their fleet. Corporate fleet business, personal transport segments are concerned, to faster adapt to electric solutions, as we have to actually get a range of products which is going to support this kind of approach. So you know, the last couple of years we always said we need to get faster to the private sales, leaving a bit of our legacy of being very strong in the commercial fleets. I think now we are at a point where we can leverage this legacy more intensively, because we are very closely connected to all the fleet operators, and if they feel attracted by FAME 2 and we can provide the right solutions, and I mentioned it earlier, extended range solutions, which are requested by lots of our customers, saying give us 200 kilometers, and we are extremely well accommodated with our transport and operational needs. I think we have a substantive role to play. To what extent we are going to get ourselves or Tata as a group into the shared mobility business is still subject to further discussions, but also something as far as the extended scope of automotive towards mobility services is concerned. as you can imagine, a serious discussion point.
All right. Okay, we would like to ask you about Jaguar Land Rover as well. This was a company that Tata Motors had acquired way back in 2008. In the last financial year, JLR lost over £3 billion. What is going to be the strategy ahead for JLR? There have been a lot of reports on a possible stake sale as well.
I think the position taken by Tata Sons, the decision taken and the statement made also by Tata Motors Group and even more so by JLR, rejecting all these kind of rumors and comments on the rumors that we might reduce our stake in JLR is self-explaining and does not need to be further commented. So rumors, and we never would comment on rumors. First part. The second part, I think everything that was necessary to be mentioned as far as the turnaround journey of Jaguar Land Rover is concerned has been very comprehensively explained in the press conference and in the analyst calls after the Q3 results, where we had to explain the write-offs of a significant amount. And what was the key story? As Jaguar Land Rover works on the markets, and for example, last month they were doing extremely well on all of the markets except the subdued demand situation in China. We actually pointed out what is the focus, what is the aspiration as far as the charge project is concerned, and what are the structural issues that get addressed by Accelerate. With this comprehensive set of actions, I'm deeply convinced, and also talking on behalf of my colleagues at JLR, that the turnaround of JLR is going to happen. As we have seen, a very strong turnaround at Tata Motors India business in the last 18 months. So therefore, a crisis is there to be mastered, and a crisis is not there to actually capitulate in front of it.
All right, Guenter, thanks very much for speaking to CNBC TV 18.